Hey guys, it is Jess, and honestly, I'm so excited to be doing this voiceover today because I feel like I haven't done a proper, speed build in voiceover in a hot minute. I don't know. I feel like the last one I did, I'm just looking at my videos now, I'm pretty sure it was like that Greek-inspired home. But before that, I don't know, I feel like I haven't just sat down and done this in ages, and I'm just so happy that I am here doing it now because it's like my therapy. It's just like, I don't know. I really enjoy just sitting here and chatting to you guys. Plus, I also have some stories because over the weekend I went away. So let's just get into the stories because it's my favorite part of these speed builds. So my husband and my husband's cousin, her name is Meg, and we are very close. She was actually my bridesmaid at my wedding. So yeah, we're very close. So Meg and then my husband, his name is Cameron. So Meg, Cameron and myself went to Kiama, which is like a coastal area. We went there for the weekend and we had so much fun, but I do have some stories. So we went on Friday night and we basically how do I explain this? I don't know why I'm having such trouble explaining it, but we all finished work at different times. So by the time we'd all finished work, we had to go get some dinner. By all that time, we didn't actually get to Kiama until 10 o'clock at night. And all we did the whole way there was listen to music and eat. We went through 2 packets of chips, 3 packets of lollies, and yeah. It was a fun trip down, and then by the time we got down to Kiama, we decided that we would go down to the beach for a little bit because where we stayed, it was a walking distance from the beach. So we ended up going and just getting a couple drinks and some more food, and we just went and sat down the beach, and we just ate so much again. This whole weekend was just filled with food. So we'd already eaten 2 packets of chips and 3 packets of lollies, and then we bought down a packet of Pringles and a packet of Maltesers and I think a packet of Grain Waves. Do you guys have Grain Waves? I don't know, they're like chips, I guess. Anyway, so we brought all that food down and then just kind of ate it all. So I ended up going to bed quite late on Friday, and then we woke up on Saturday morning and we went to, well, first of all, we woke up and we went and had breakfast, and the weather was supposed to be rainy, but when we woke up, the weather was actually really, really good, and we wanted to go to a water park, this place called Jamboree, which is a water park. And we were unsure as to whether we should go or not because we didn't want to get there and have it rain, but we decided that we would go. So we went to Jamboree. And I am a baby. I am a hot mess when it comes to any kind of thrill ride. So the first one that we went on, these are just water slides, by the way. I refused to go on roller coasters. My dad convinced me to go on a roller coaster once and actually twice. That was actually a very embarrassing story. One time, I screamed and cried the entire way, and it was one of these roller coasters where there was a guy that operated the brake. That sounds terrifying, I know. And he had to slow the roller coaster down as much as possible because I was screaming that much. And he's I can't make it go any slower, and I'm just screaming and crying. And the second time my dad convinced me to go on a roller coaster, he's it's awesome, it's really fun. I cried and then nearly vomited. So I don't do roller coasters. I'm kind of okay with water slides, but I'm a big baby. So the first water slide that we went on, it was one that was just in the dark, and it wasn't too bad. I did get quite afraid to start off with, but then at the end I was oh yeah, that's not too bad. It just kind of made me feel a little bit dizzy because on top of being a massive baby, I also get very motion sick. I get car sick, bus sick, seasick. I get so seasick. If I am in a wave pool or the beach for too long, I start to feel nauseous. Go-karting, I get really sick. One time was I had to pull over and get them to pull me off the go-kart thing because I thought I was going to vomit because I felt so motion sick from it. So yeah, the first slide we went on made me feel a little bit dizzy, but it was okay. Then the second one we went on is this thing called the funnel web, and it is you hop in this tube and you drop Like, you go, like, a little bit through the water slide first, and then you just all of a sudden, like, you drop into, like, this funnel thing, and you go, like, up the sides. Like, it's a pretty cool slide. So I went on that, and I didn't want to go. Like, I really, really badly, I didn't want to go, because I had actually been on it once before and I hated it. But I got peer pressured because Meg and Cameron are like, come on, don't be a baby, you can do it. And there were these, like, 9-year-olds. I'd say they're 9. I'm just guessing. But these, like, really young kids in line for the water slide, and they're like, you're 23, they're 9, they can do it. And I'm like, no! But I eventually got, like, peer pressured into doing it. So I just ended up doing it even though I really didn't want to. So we were, like, waiting in line, and there were these, like, this group of kids. I'm gonna say they were maybe, like, 11, and they kept on dabbing, like, that thing with your arms. And I don't know if it's just that I'm old or something, but I have just never actually, until a few weeks ago, I've never really seen anyone dab in public. Like, I know that it is a thing, but I've just never really seen anyone do it. So a couple weeks ago, just taking a little tangent here, my husband and I were, like, driving out of our, like, townhouse complex, and there's, like, local, like, kids that live in the townhouse complex. Anyway, this one kid was, like, sitting on his bike, and he was just, like, staring at us, and he wouldn't break eye contact. So we were staring back, and we were like, well, I think we're just being stupid. Like, we were, like, giving him this really weird look, and he was giving us this really weird look, and he, without breaking eye contact, he just did this really slow dab. And we were like, what? And that's the first time I'd ever seen a dab. So anyway, then we were waiting in this stupid line for the water slide at Jamboree. And these, like, 11-year-olds, there was 4 of them, they were, like, making these jokes, and they were all like, yeah, we'll see you in the next life. And then they'd just dab. Or they'd go to, like, shake each other's hand, and then be like, psych, dab. And do a dab. And I was like, we were watching them, and I'm like, is this what young kids do these days? I'm feeling so old. And then all of a sudden they got into this group hug, and this is, like, all while we're waiting in line to go on this, like, funnel web ride thing. So this kind of made me feel, like, a little less nervous, right? So all of a sudden these 4, like, random 11-year-olds, they're like, group hug, and they all huddled together in a group hug, and then they were jumping up and down really fast, just going dab, 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 dab. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I was so confused. I've never experienced this. Is this normal child behavior? I don't know. But that kind of made my experience, like, a little less frightening. But then I had to go on the ride, and I screamed like a baby the entire time. And then my legs got all, like, weak afterwards, and I had, like, jelly knees, and it was just, like, awful. It really was. Like, the ride was horrible. But then afterwards I was kind of like, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad. Because I'm the kind of person who, it's like, it's horrible not knowing what's going to happen or how I'm going to feel. But then once I've done it, I'm okay then sometimes. Sometimes this is just as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I'm, like, terrified still. And other times I'm like, okay, that probably wasn't so bad. So this is one of those times where I'm like, okay, it wasn't so bad. So I decided to go on another water slide, which was basically the same as the first one, except there were, like, 3 of these funnel things, and it was in the dark. And then once again, that one was actually okay. So we went on those rides a few times, and then I was like, guys, I have to sit down. Like, I'm starting to feel a bit nauseous. And they're all like, oh my God. And, like, my husband is just, like, used to my weirdness. And I was trying to explain to Meg that, like, I get really motion sick, and I've just been on the rides too much. I'm getting a funny belly. I just need to sit down. And they're like, oh, okay, that's fine. We'll go sit down and have a drink or something. But let's just go on one last water slide first. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm sure I'll be fine on just one last one. Yeah, I wasn't fine. I, like, nearly threw up. I thought I was going to vomit, like, halfway down this ride. And I was just, like, sitting there, and I was like, oh no. And then when the ride was over, they were like, are you okay? And I was like, I feel really sick. I need to sit down, and I need to be left alone. So I ended up just, like, sitting by myself, and I was like, can you guys just, like, go? I just need to be, I don't know how to explain it. I just wanted to be, like, on my own, just with my nausea. So they're like, okay, we'll go on some more rides. And I'm like, yeah, just, like, meet me back here in, like, half an hour or something. So I was just, like, sitting there. And I was trying to like deep breathe, and I'm like, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay. Because here's the other thing, I am an anxious person. So the whole time I'm trying to like calm myself down, I'm actually low key having like a panic attack, because I'm like, oh my God, like, what if I don't start to feel better? Like, have I ruined the whole day? I'm not gonna be able to go on any more rides. Oh my God, like, and all these stupid thoughts are running through my head. And then I ended up working myself up to the point where I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be sick. So I had to like, by myself, like, run to the disgusting bathroom at the theme park, and I didn't want to like kneel down on the ground because the floor was all wet, so I was trying to like sort of like squat down, and then I thought I was going to be sick, and then I was like, no wait, I'm not going to be sick. So I don't even know how to explain it, I'm such an idiot. I like ran to the toilet, and then I was like, no wait, I'm fine. And then I kind of just, like, walked back out of the toilet, and I was like, that was really weird. And then I went and, like, I knew what had happened, though. Like, I knew I'd had a little panic attack. It's just what happens to me. And by the way, if anyone jumps at this, no, I'm not pregnant. I am just an anxious little bean who has these little, like, panic. They're not, like, full-on panic attacks, but I work myself up. Like, I don't have, like, an actual, like, panic attack. I just have my own little panic, if that makes sense. So anyway, I had my little like panic, and then I was like, no, you're gonna be okay, you just need to calm down. So I went and just like sat outside of the toilet in case I, had another little panic, and I just like drank my lemonade, and I just closed my eyes, and after about 20 minutes I started to finally feel better. And then Cameron and Meg came back, and I was like just like telling them about it, and my husband is like, oh my God. And then my, like, Meg, she's like, oh my God, are you okay? Is she okay? And my husband's like, yeah, she's fine. She just probably worked herself up. And I'm like, yeah, pretty accurate. That's me. So, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to tell you guys this. Like, who gets motion sick at the water park, right? So motion sick that they have to just sit down on their own with lemonade to calm their tummy. And then who turns that into a moment to worry, and then has such a big skitsy worried attack about it that they legit think they're gonna throw up, and then they have to run into the random bathroom at the disgusting like water park toilet thing. And oh my God, like these are the things that happen to me. It's like, how was your weekend? Yeah, I got motion sick at the water park, and then I kind of had a panic attack, and then I thought I was gonna be sick, but then I was fine. Just like a typical day. I mean, this doesn't happen to me daily, but it does happen. I do get in these moods where I panic, and I don't know what it is, but it seems for me when I have like a little panic thing, I always think I'm going to be sick, and it's so annoying because I don't like being sick. But I have many a time worked myself into such a state that I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I think I'm going to be sick, and then everyone's like staring at me because like I'm just being weird. Yeah, so I mean, this is actually probably really disgusting because I'm talking about like sick, but look, I just wanted to tell you guys, hopefully you can make me feel better. Like, tell me your embarrassing like motion sickness story, because my husband, actually Meg and Cameron, neither of them get car sick or seasick or anything. Like, they don't get motion sick. So even on like the way down to Kiama, I was getting like a little bit motion sick. And I was like complaining, and I was like, oh, you're going too fast around the corners, I'm getting sick. So I'm just like a mess when it comes to travel because I get so motion sick and it's so annoying. Yeah, but like, as I said, I have a lot of stories. So I think this is probably the only kind of story that I'm going to tell like for this speed build, because we still have like the rest of Saturday and then Sunday. So I think I have a few more minutes, I think, so I might just like segue into something else, maybe. I don't know. Motion sickness. Yeah, guys, tell me about your motion sickness stories. I just want you to make me feel better and be like, don't worry, Jess, one time I got sick here or whatever. Because one time I got, I had like seasickness on a boat with just someone that I worked with, and I'm really bad when I get sick, and I was like crying my eyes out, and I had a blood nose because it was horrendous. And this poor person I worked with was like rubbing my back and he's like, it's okay, you'll be okay. And I'm just like crying my eyes out, being like, I want to get off the phone. Ah! Like wailing. And he's like, oh my God. Just some context, sorry. I traveled for work and we got like some days off. And because we actually traveled to Cairns, which is a place in Queensland, Australia. It's like a tropical kind of place. So we all went up there for work, and then on our days off, we wanted to do something. So we went on this like boat tour to this island, and there were like a few of us, but I was like just so happened to sit next to this guy who I'd met through work. And the poor thing, he was such a champion. I'm like getting so seasick and I'm crying my eyes out. Everyone else is like edging away and he's just like patting my back. And then I called my mum and was like, Mummy, I got seasick, because I'm a baby. And then I told her like how this guy from work was really nice to me. And then my mum was like, you have to put him on the phone. And she was like thanking him. She's like, oh, you're such an amazing friend. And this poor guy's like, we've met like 3 times. So yeah, I've had so many just embarrassing motion sick incidences. So let me know yours below, guys. Make me feel better. The video is nearly over, so I'm going to, I think it's nearly over. I thought this only went for 15 minutes, but it's going on for a lot longer than what I thought it did. Because with my like video editor, it like the time stamping thing's a bit off. Or like I just can't read it properly. So I don't really know how. I think I just have to do the backyard. But I thought that it was going to be over. I thought I only had 15 minutes. So I was very, I don't know. Maybe I could talk about the build for a little bit. I wanted to go something like very grey and green. This is my build voice. Oh my God. It's actually like 12:20 a.m. And it's too late for this. It is too late for this. So maybe I'll just go. I still don't have an outro yet. Like I don't know. I need to like just get an outro because I feel like I don't have an outro for it to be a mess. But this whole like end part of the video is just a hot mess. So let's try and make up an outro. Okay guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you I can't even take myself seriously when I'm like trying to do this. Let me try again. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you all in another video. Bye! I think that worked. I think that was okay. And I just like ruined it by talking still. But I am gonna go now because video's nearly over. Let's put some music on. Thank you so much for watching guys. Bye!